Help us, 1300 Saint. You're our only hope. Hey. Oh. Yeah. Don't hit me with that Rico. Yeah. What's going on, guys? It's Bryce back with another video. In today's video, talking about 1300 Saint. I got another full-length video essay, journalistic video. I've spent weeks researching this. It really didn't take weeks, but I've just been super busy, and I could only watch like a video or interview 2 or here a day. So it took me a while, but I'm back on the YouTube. I know it's been a month since I uploaded, but we're back. We're gonna be consistent. All right, I've had a lot going on personally, business, career. I honestly have never been more overwhelmed in my life, quite frankly. But I love you guys. So we're here with another video. We're talking about 1300 Saint. You know, YSL's last hope. Young Thug's protege. We're going to go over his upbringing, career, music, influences, future, all the things you can need to know about Young Thug's new label and 1300 Saint. Let's get into it. 1300 Saint. He is from Atlanta, but lived in Maryland for half of his life growing up. He played a lot of basketball and football and was a big gamer, specifically on the PS4, which always is funny to me when I hear like in interviews artists say like, oh, he's played PS4, you know, that's what I used to do growing up, because it's like, damn. PS4 came out, what, like 2012 or some shit? Bro, I forget these artists are like the same age or like younger than me. This shit's crazy. He used to draw a lot and watch a lot of anime, particularly Dragon Ball Z. He would be drawing Goku and characters from Dragon Ball Z a lot, and that's where he cited that he started his creative journey. His uncle, named Vito, made music and would pretty much give him a path to have Saint do it for himself. Saint said that quarantine with his friends really helped him to start make music for fun after having a love and understanding of music in his early life due to his uncle Vito. He used to record some of his first verses through a Snapchat video to his friend, who would replay the audio into a mic and record it with the beat also playing into the mic on separate hardwares. This is some SoundCloud shit. This is some SoundCloud shit. Before he would really even start to take music seriously, he would cut hair, he would make custom shoes, and do a lot of tattoos before he started really taking music as serious as he eventually did, as it was just for fun. He was trying to find his creative outlook, you know. He even gave himself multiple tattoos of himself, and those are the first ones he ever got, and, you know, his uncle was the one who bought him the machine. So his uncle has definitely been kind of the creative outlook for him. So shout out 1300 Saint's uncle. Without him, I don't know that this man would be here. Fashion's something that's always inspired Saint and would continue to throughout his career. And, you know, as he started to make music and find that was really his creative outlook, he would exclusively use YouTube beats back in the day until he would meet an artist named Nardo's Rain, who would teach him how to mix on BandLab and FL Studio. That made him start to take music a little bit more serious. And they would continue to collab throughout both of their careers, like on the song Gone in 2022 with the album called Noir, showing that Nardo Rain has been there since the start and pretty much was like almost a protegeing 1300 Saint in a sense. Now, 1300 Saint's first project ever was under an unknown alias. It was called Hellraiser, where he recorded a beat over a speaker into the Voice Memos app where he would rap with the beat playing in the back. So like the same thing with the Snapchat shit. All right, it was straight to Apple Music. Apparently no one's found it. People have looked for it, but it's under a new name, so who knows where it's at. But he says it's still out there, so I take his word for it. He got his current name 1300 Saint because he used to do graphic design and make clothing pieces, and there was a brand name called Saint Dawn, which he might return to this brand soon, which, you know, going back, you can see he's kept his word up. The Saint Dawn brand is up and act. And he said he just randomly added 1300 onto the beginning of his Instagram name, which would lead to his rap name being 1300 Saint. So it's not no block, it's not no like 1600, 29, Uzi, Cardi, none of that. It's just 1300. Now, he would live in Maryland for a little while, a little before until he ended up getting signed to YSL, which we're going to get to. However, when he was in the DMV area, he listened to a lot of Zanman and Young Manny, and those were loose inspirations as he's grown up, but he has cited a lot of Atlanta artists being his main inspirations, which we will get into. But he alluded to the Thug signing in June of 2024.
Talking to labels and shit like that, trying to figure shit out right now. And then once I sign shit, I'm about to just drop, like, really pop my shit, like, for real.
Oh, you ready to sign?
Yeah, it's crazy shit. I can't even say who yet.
So what I'm hearing is you about to sign a free band.
Nah, close enough.
And he was the first artist publicly signed, which he revealed in September of 2024, but he was really signed in April. He just couldn't speak of it. You know, the YSL current roster consists of Young KO, 1300 Saint, Lil Got It, and 9 Vicious. He claims he felt like the Young Thug YSL signing was normal and part of his natural path that shows like he's always had his head on straight. He knows what he's getting himself into. He doesn't doubt himself. You know, he definitely wants to take this shit big. You know, he has goals and he finds them. You know, he's had a few people who advised against signing to YSL, but he knew it was the right choice just because of the notoriety of the label and Thug. But I can understand it. He said he could understand why they might not want him signing under another artist. But he has partaken the YSL moniker quite fruitfully, holding a snake during one of his interviews. Shout out It's Overlooked, real journalism there, and records a lot of his music in the YSL Snake Pits, which are studios in LA, Atlanta, etc., where like the YSL guys or anyone affiliated can kind of come in. There's plaques of Young Thug, YSL, all types of Young Money, all types of shit on the wall. So it's very cool. But he still records music a lot at his own crib, as he does kind of like to be in his own headspace when he makes music. The song Escalade would drop a little bit after his public signing, but it was supposed to be some other stuff that dropped, but he said this was like a throwaway or like a plan B he had to put out. I still enjoy that song. I think it was a great move. So that was the first real dive into the YSL. Today he records most of his music in-house with FL Studio or at the Snake Pits, but he's notably been told that his recording process is extremely quick and efficient. He never writes. He's kind of like in and out the booth, so I could see why, you know, maybe being at home or in a studio just with a few people can really allow him to get into that mode. Minimal distractions, stuff like that. He said currently inspirations include Thames, Radiohead, Ye, showing that he listened to all kinds of music, even noting Adele as a big inspiration, and his favorite artist ever being Frank Ocean. He also said he'd love to make songs with Young Thug, Future, Kodak Black, Lil Uzi Vert, Jaden Smith, all before he was signed to YSL, so showing that YSL connection has always, you know, kind of been something that I'm sure he has dreamed of, and that he's quite literally getting. He noted if he could work with any dead artist, it would be XXXTentacion, and he also notes Drake and Playboi Carti as some of his favorite artists, and probably in his top 5. However, he does consider himself top 1 and listens to his own music the most, and this is something I say to artists, you know, when you grab the mic, it goes back to like what Lil Wayne, you know, Lil Wayne used to always say I'm the greatest rapper alive, blah, blah, blah. It's like when you have the mic in your hands, you gotta believe that. That's something that even, you know, you guys know I'm the Logic guy. Logic has said that many times, you know, you gotta think you're the best, you know, you gotta have that mic in your hand, and you gotta literally be the greatest rapper alive when you have that mic. There is no room for other people to take that shine when you're active, which I can completely appreciate and respect from him. Since signing to YSL and releasing music, you know, he's kind of developed a very eerie, melodic, atmospheric sound, and I personally see a lot of mainstream potential with the sound. Like, this is very, like, accessible. I think anything that's more melodic can have a lot of, like, female listeners, and I think this is kind of where his career is gonna go. But since signing to YSL, he's dropped his projects All Hail, which is his YSL debut project, which was, like, flawless, a beautiful cover art. He said there was like 7 different versions of this project, and like every version was different. Only like 1 or 2 songs made the final version that were like on the other versions, showing that he's a perfectionist, and I definitely believe it. I could tell that this is an album, you know, like this is, you got to listen to it in order. There's like transitions, there are all the things, and the transitions is something he's continued to do even on his newer EP called Saint Season, which is a direct allude to Young Thug, as you could see there, having transitions on all the tracks and really only working with artists that are associated with YSL, like Young KO, Nine Vicious, and even saying they're supposed to have a YSL tape on the way. But there might be some beef right now between Nine Vicious, 1300SAINT. I don't know. We're gonna get into that. Trust me. Also alluding to a Slime Language 3 being on the way. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. You know, even recently he's dropped this 4 EP, which again, you know, had YSL features, and I thoroughly enjoyed that project. But he is saying his next big project on the way is going to be called Savior, and he does say it's his best piece of work. He said it might not be the absolute next thing that drops. It depends on how he feels, but it will be the most complete body of work that releases. He'll probably create like 18 different versions of this one too until he finds the final version, so I'm going to give him his time. All right, be patient. But, you know, since he is on a label now, it can be tricky with the timing and dropping, but he said this is going to be his most soulful project, and I can see that happening easily. And, you know, since then, he's had a few good looks, you know. PlaqueBoyMax, you know, he kind of foreshadowed with an interview with 42 CEO he would like to do PlaqueBoyMax's stream.
Would you ever consider, like, eventually doing some shit like with Max, like, you know, PlaqueBoyMax?
Yeah,
Because
I fuck with Max stream, yeah. Like, it's just like, I got to talk to bro and see what he on, like, all the way, because I don't really watch what everybody got going on. I really don't be on my phone too heavy. So like,
and then he goes and does it. He makes like a few songs on there, but he gets an officially released song called Party with Tana and Apollo Red, and got to perform it at Summer Smash with PlaqueBoyMax. So that was insane. I mean, like, literally seeing 1300SAINT in front of that many people was insane. You know, if you guys know what I do within the fest, you know, we've had him for 2 shows. We've had him for an Atlanta show, and we've had him for a New York show, and he rocked them both out. I hope you guys enjoyed those recaps, because I had to play them for you guys, because shit's too hard. But speaking of this Nine Vicious beef, now I don't like getting into beef. I don't like getting into beef, but I ain't even gonna get into it anyways. Because of the New York show, you know, we had 1300 Saint there performing alongside Dior versus you and Skate Star, and Nine Vicious at his show the next day was like, I told him to stop performing with the ops.
I told you to stop performing with the ops, nigga.
And then they just went back and forth with social media. I'm not even going to go over all the things. I think they unfollowed each other. They refollowed each other. I don't know.
I can't perform Black Trip. I don't know why. He's saying he can't get, don't lie to me right now, is what he's telling me.
But it's like, damn. Now you got Lil Uzi Vert involved.
Dude, and y'all niggas talking about I fell off too. Y'all little ass boys, bro, stop playing with me, bro. For real, because I gotta pop out and everybody know Uzi is. Stop fucking playing with me, nigga. Oh, by the way. Chuck.
Now you got Young Thug involved. This shit's a mess, bro. So I don't even want to talk or get into Nine Vicious because it's like the beef drama. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It is what it is. I got 1300 Saint back. That's all I gotta say. And you know, there also was an illusion that he might be on Young Thug's upcoming album. Oi, SCUTI. We're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. I don't have any concrete 100,000% confirmation that that's gonna happen, but I think it would make sense, and I think Young Thug is someone who would actually like want to put his artist on an album, as opposed to like Cardi, who's gonna wait 5 years, you know. But that might just be me. I don't know these people like. Though I do know Saint, but I not like that. And currently, 1300 Saint plays a lot of NBA 2K and COD, and also has a boxing hobby. I don't know why that was important to the video, but I have it in my notes. So I think the current mental of 1300 Saint is very interesting because he explains how art can be loved and simultaneously hated, and he considers that to be the best art. He says, you know, if you drop something and like everyone loves it, it's like it almost has a time limit on it. It's not timeless art. He feels like it's almost fatty, you know, it's almost trendy. He says like if you have people who are like die hard love and then die hard hate, they're going to go against each other. It's going to make your support system greater. And it's like, that's really what great art is. Great art is supposed to be controversial to him. So I could definitely see him doing that. I'm not going to lie. I feel like Nine Vicious kind of fits that mold. People hate him or love him. I feel like 1300 Saint is pretty universally enjoyed. But there certainly are people, since he is signed to YSL, who are saying shit like, oh, you know, Gunna better, all this shit, blah, blah, blah. You know, what happened to old YSL, shit like that. So it's like, I think he's kind of fitting that mold how he wants to. And I definitely agree. I mean, I feel like the best art has always been controversial, and it always lands the test of time. It's just finding that balance between love and hatred. It's a fucking slippery goddamn slope, that's for damn sure. He also claims that he doesn't like a lot of music and doesn't think that his sound meshes with many others, hence the lack of features both on his own and on others' music. He says, you know, if he's gonna have someone on his project, he wants to find like a middle ground. He doesn't want to have to confine to someone else's sound or have them completely do that to him. So he said he doesn't want to work with a lot of artists in his own lane because it's not time yet. You know, he feels like as he gets bigger, it'll be time to kind of go through and do all that, which, you know, looking at their respective Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, Homicide Gang, just they're the easiest comparison because they were under Cardi, this guy's under Thug. It's like that's exactly what they did, and it worked out for them. And now they're kind of going and doing their features they want. I wish they would do more, but you know, 1300 Saint, he's being reserved at the moment, and I think it's smart. And to leave this video off with something for you guys, 1300 Saint has some words of encouragement. So I'm just gonna leave you guys with that.
What's like some advice you have to artists right now?
On some real shit, my advice to people would be to like take time to figure out what you're really trying to do. Like what do you want for yourself first and foremost? Because like I'm not even talking about rapping specifically, like just anything. Like figure out where you want to be in life and how you want to get there. And like if you could see that shit, just keep following down that path. Like you gonna get to that point. Like all the other shit is like it's secondary. You just gotta see where you want to be at and do whatever the fuck you need to do to get there. Like it's no in between. It's no cutting corners, because if you cut corners, it's gonna take way longer. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to get there.
Honestly, I relate with every single word he said. It's kind of inspired me, encouraged me to kind of put myself forward. But if you guys enjoyed watching, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any videos, updates, anything like that. Go in the description, follow my TikTok, my Spotify, my Twitter, my Instagram, get that new music monthly playlist, and join my Discord down there too. And yeah, it's been Bryce. Go listen to Saint. Peace. Hold on, we'll do YSL. We'll do YSL in this video. Yeah, we'll do that.
Let's push the price, bitch. And this is how we get it, yeah, you know we